March 7th, 2016, Monday of the fourth week of Lent.
A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. Thus says the Lord, Lo, I am about to create new heavens and a new earth. The things of the past shall not be remembered or come to mind. Instead, there shall always be rejoicing and happiness in what I create. For I create Jerusalem to be a joy, and its people to be a delight. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and exult in my people. No longer shall the sound of weeping be heard there, or the sound of crying. No longer shall there be in it an infant who lives but a few days, or an old man who does not round out his full lifetime. He dies a mere youth who reaches but 100 years, and he who fails of 100 shall be thought accursed. They shall live in the houses they build, and eat the fruit of the vineyards they plant. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, I will praise you, Lord, for you have rescued me. I will extol you, O Lord, for you drew me clear, and did not let my enemies rejoice over me. O Lord, you brought me up from the netherworld. You preserved me from among those going down into the pit. I will praise you, Lord, for you have rescued me. Sing praise to the Lord, you his faithful ones, and give thanks to his holy name. For his anger lasts but a moment, a lifetime his goodwill. At nightfall, weeping enters in, but with the dawn, rejoicing. I will praise you, Lord, for you have rescued me. Hear, O Lord, and have pity on me. O Lord, be my helper. You changed my mourning into dancing. O Lord my God, forever will I give you thanks. I will praise you, Lord, for you have rescued me.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. At that time Jesus left Samaria for Galilee. For Jesus himself testified that a prophet has no honor in his native place. When he came into Galilee, the Galileans welcomed him, since they had seen all that he had done in Jerusalem at the feast, for they themselves had gone to the feast. Then he returned to Cana in Galilee, where he had made the water wine. Now there was a royal official whose son was ill in Capernaum. When he heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and asked him to come down and heal his son who was near death. Jesus said to him, Unless you people see signs and wonders, you will not believe. The royal official said to him, Sir, come down before my child dies. Jesus said to him, You may go, your son will live. The man believed what Jesus said to him and left. While the man was on his way back, his slaves met him and told him that his boy would live. He asked them when he began to recover. They told him, The fever left him yesterday, about 1 p.m. The father realized that just at that time, Jesus had said to him, Your son will live. And he and his whole household came to believe. Now this was the second sign Jesus did when he came to Galilee from Judea. The Gospel of the Lord.
The 7th of March, Monday of the fourth week of Lent. The first reading comes from Isaiah 65, 17 to 21. This passage comes from Trito Isaiah, the third part of the book of the prophet Isaiah, from chapters 56 to 66. It is written after the exile, and it speaks about a restoration that will be cosmic, that God is creating a new heavens and a new earth. By mentioning heaven and earth, he's mentioning the two extremes of creation. So everything will be new. Everything will be recreated. And the past will not be remembered. The time of suffering, the time of exile will be forgotten because of the goodness that God is creating. Jerusalem will be a joy and gladness. Remember, at the time this was written, Jerusalem was a burned out city. The exiles had returned from Babylon, but they had found only a city destroyed during the siege in 587 BC. This prophet is promising that everything that God promised through the prophet Deutero-Isaiah during the exile will be fulfilled. And so much vitality will be given to the people that if somebody dies at 100, he'll be considered a young person dying. The Gospel is from John 4:43 to 54. And again, here we see a bit of that vitality. We hear about Jesus being in Cana of Galilee, and a court official comes whose son was ill. He comes and asks Jesus to come down and cure his son. Jesus, instead of going, simply says, "Your son will live." And so the man starts on his way. This is a response of faith. The man trusted in what Jesus said. And in fact, when he returns home, he finds out that his son was healed at the very time that Jesus had said it. This is called the second sign that Jesus did in Cana of Galilee. Remember, in the Gospel of John, they never use the word miracle. Miracle is something that's spectacular. People flock to miracles, not to convert their hearts, but to see the wonder. Signs, on the other hand, point to a greater reality. And the greater reality of this is not the fact that one young boy is healed of his illness. Rather, it's the fact that Jesus has given this boy life. In fact, this gospel is created as a chiasm. There are 7 signs, and this is the second sign. The 6th sign, the second last, will be the raising of Lazarus from the dead, again giving life. Both of these signs involve Jesus, who is the source of our life, but a life that is so filled with vitality that even if we die, we will still live in Him. And may God bless us.